Hello? Is this working? Oh no, black screen. There, it's over. Oh, it's back. Okay. So hello everyone, I'm Ikewolf and I'm gonna start the game now because it takes a while to load and the time actually starts in-game and not when you create the file. It's just to avoid loading differences between consoles and stuff like that. Since there is very few download. Oh, this is not the right file. Whoops. There is very little downloads in this game, so just skipping the main one, which is the very first one, basically get rid of all the download time in the game. So that's why the timer starts after this, so that Switch players are not that much like penalized. You're just letting me know when it starts? Yeah, I'm telling you when it's gonna start. Okay, time is about to start. It's right when I get control. And start. Okay, so this is Fear. It's pronounced Fear, by the way, because it's a Swedish word. It's a game, indie game made by a Swedish company named Zoink Games, and it's been published by EA earlier this year in like February. Okay, it's a little trick jump right at the start of the game. Thankfully, when you do reset runs, you can just restart anytime you want. So. Yeah, in this game you have two main things you can collect. Those are the little crystals. I just got one there. Those are the secondary abilities. And the main abilities you get in this game are the songs or voices. And in this category I will get all the voices you can possibly get in the game. And casually you're supposed to get all the voices and two of the secondary abilities, which represents 5 of the 75 crystals you can get into the game. And what I'll do is that I'll start to get some of the second ability. I'll get it before going to even the first area, which contains the first song. And by doing that, I will be able to go way faster, and I will take some crystals I'm not supposed to get in the early game very fast. So to the left there, I'm supposed to go to get to the tutorial, which is this little baby deer there. Usually it tells me how to play the game, how I can sing with animals and use them to do stuff. But instead I'm just gonna go right ahead. There's a little jump you can do there on this tree. This skip has been found yesterday, by the way. So there's a lot of skips that have been found yesterday. Like someone came onto the Discord and like did a huge post with like 15 new skips, and I was like, hey. So now I'm just doing skips I just learned yesterday, so, which is interesting. But since those skips in total save about 1 minute 30 seconds, I might be able to beat my PB today. So this is the main area of the game. This is where we get all the secondary abilities, which the first two abilities, as I said, casually they're intended, but all the rest you're not supposed to get. And in this run we basically take all of the things you need casually, which are the first two abilities and the 6 songs. Right now I have only one song or voice. It's my like basic voice that allows me to just communicate with plants and forests in general. And right now I'm getting the ability to climb on trees. So this is like the tutorial area for the secondary abilities. Okay, so basically you get on any tree you want and just spam A and you can get on the top of it. So now, instead of going to the bird area, which is the first area where you get the bird song, I'll be getting more crystals and get the glide ability, which is not supposed to get after the first area. So I'm gonna get this one, which is pretty simple, but then I'm gonna go up there and take 2, which I'm not supposed to get at all at this point. Okay, there is this little trick jump there. Get on the polygon and then jump back up, and that allows you to climb up there on this tree. Then you can get this crystal, and then there is another one that's basically in the same area, same jump again. Okay, that was kind of fast. This jumps looks way easier than it actually is. So now I have the 4 crystals I need to unlock the second ability, and I'm not supposed to have the second ability before I go to the first area, so this will allow me to skip some of the stuff. So this second ability is glide, which well, does what it's called. It basically allows me to float in the air. It doesn't allow me to gain any height though, so once I start gliding I won't be able to gain any height. I will just fall down slowly. The very last ability you get in the game is the ability to fly, and then basically you cannot get it until after you beat the game, and at this point you can just break the game very easily, but it's useless since you beat the game already. I'm doing a series of glide there. It allows me to go way faster, but then I lose height also way faster, so it's a little compromise you have to get. Okay, now I'm going to the first area, which is the bird area. So in this game, how the voice works is that there are 6 different species in this game, which Fee is one of those. It's the little creature I'm controlling right now. And you can communicate with all the babies in the game, even if you don't learn their language. Okay. And then once you unlock the language, you can communicate with adults, and then you can do way more stuff with those. And you can also unlock some things you need the babies for, and once you have the language you can actually speak directly to the flowers you unlock. Okay, those guys right there are the bad guys, so I'm just gonna avoid them. You're gonna see a lot of those during the run. It's basically a hide and seek game. Okay, this little plant there, I'm supposed to pair with it and activate flowers, but I can just go around there on this rock and skip this little thing. Okay, now the baby deer that was supposed to help us in the early game and teach us the game is gonna get captured, even though we never did anything with it. And sadly, you cannot actually save this deer until you beat the game. Like, after you beat the game, you actually land in it and you can save it, but you cannot until you beat the game, which is kind of sad. Okay, now I'm gonna pair with a baby bird. This bird will allow me to do a couple of things, 2 main things. The first one is that I can call him to open green flowers, because the birds in this game are green. So anything that is green I will be able to unlock once I call this little guy. And then he also shows me the way, so if I call him, it just shows me where I have to go, because this world is a giant forest, so if you're lost, just call him and then it will show you approximately where is the rest of the game you need to go. Okay, so this is a little skip. You're supposed to unlock this adult bird right there, but by going on this tree I can just skip it. So now we're getting to the first area of the game, which is the bird area. So I'm calling my little bird friend to help me unlock this green plant. Then inside I can find little things that allow me to destroy those barriers. So now we have a little cutscene where a mother bird is getting her eggs stolen by the bad guys. So in order to get the bird voice, we need to help her get her eggs back. just gonna wait for them to be focused on the eggs, because if I go there too soon, they will just capture me. There is almost no RNG in this game, but there is a lot of NPC manipulation, friendly like enemies. Like it can seem like RNG, but depending on your voice and your position, it will always be the same. So if you have a setup and you do the same all the time, the enemies or your allies will move in the exact same way. It takes a while to learn because there is a lot of different patterns that can happen if you messed up. I'm just gonna wait for him to put the egg and then take it right away. Hide behind this thing so he cannot catch me right away. There is a new strat for those guys that have been discovered yesterday that I haven't practiced much yet, so I won't do it, but it should save about 5 seconds. Like, instead of going around giving the egg to Mother Bird and then going to this second guy, you can just do all of those things at once with a precise throw. But I've tried it once and it failed completely, so I won't go for it today. There's a huge amount of small jumps in this game that doesn't seem like much, but they all save like 5 to 10 seconds, and they're all like kind of tricky to do. Like, there aren't many glitches in this game. It's all very small jumps you have to do on certain places. That doesn't seem like much, but once you try, you realize how hard it is. Yeah, there are this even, I guess, even worse guy that beats up this guy. Is supposed to take the egg, but if I take the egg as he lets it go, I can just skip this whole shenanigan. Why is it? Okay, the second, one more now. This game has basically no, how to say that? It has no story. Like, you have to guess the story by unlocking stones, and there are little like drawings on them, and you have to kind of guess the story. And the end of the game is such like confusing. Like, there are debates on what the story exactly means, but no one has figured out completely yet. I have my theory, which makes kind of sense, but it's hard to tell what's going on in this game, story-wise. So now we unlock Bird Voice, since we have helped her recover all of her eggs. And now we can communicate with adults, and adults can fly very high, and we can do a lot of stuff with those, but since we're in speedrun, we'll never use any of those. We'll just find other ways to do that. Okay, this bird is kind of glitched. It's because it's the bird I was supposed to save earlier, but since I never saved him, it's just there as a ghost. Okay, now my next objective is to go to the deer area, which is across the map, so I have to go through the starting point of the game again. Okay, this jump doesn't seem like much, but it saves a couple of seconds too. Okay, this is where you're supposed to see one of others like you, like other fears. But since I didn't climb all the way to the top of this tree, I skipped the cutscene and I haven't seen him at all. So now we're back to the center of the game. And I'm gonna go straight ahead to the deer area. And once you see the deer god, it's pretty impressive. Like it's huge. It's the biggest creature in the game. So I'm coming back there because it allows me to skip all the path that leads to the deer area. So instead of walking to the right there, I just cut straight to the area by gliding there. And there is deer god that we need to save. So now that I have the board voice, I can unlock the green flowers by myself. I don't need to call my little agent friend to do that. Okay, I'm hugging the wall there so that I don't fall too much, and if I fall too much there, I will lose my green ball, and then I have to get another one, and it loses a bunch of time. I'm climbing on those rocks there. You're supposed to kill a bunch of silent ones, like the bad guys are called silent ones. I'm not even sure if it's the right term, but you just refer to them as those. So it's the silenced one. You're supposed to kill 3 of them and then with the help of a deer go all the way to the top, but by climbing on those rocks I skipped this whole thing. Okay, I'm heading to the last thing I need to destroy, and then as soon as I destroy it, the deer god will start moving around the area, and then it has a precise cycle. So what I'll try to do is like kill the last thing in a specific spot, and then try to fly into a tree that's like on deer god that will go up as I come to a specific spot. The timing is very precise. It's been discovered yesterday, so if I fail, yeah. Okay. Just gonna wait for this guy to come back. So this is the last thing I need to destroy to free him. I'm gonna stand there, right next to this tree. Yeah, I got it. Nice. Oh! Okay. Saved, kind of. Yes. Okay. It's moving a lot, so it's kind of hard. There is some... What? I just clipped out of bounds. That was interesting. So there is some epic music when you climb on this guy, but the climb is so fast you won't hear much of it. And now we unlock a deer voice. There's a nice view, but sadly we don't have time to look at it. as we are heading to the third area, which is the lizard area. Usually what you're supposed to do is follow a lizard through the whole game basically until the area, but there is a nice little skip you can do over the sea, which basically cuts through all of that. So now, as I have the deer voice, I can activate deer flowers by myself. Okay, this is a mother lizard, and this is the lizard I'm supposed to follow all the way to the game, but instead, I'm just gonna take this flower and then aim into nothing. Okay. Should be good. Just need to be careful because if you fall into the water there's like a 3 seconds delay and then you get eaten by some kind of fish, so. Okay. Now we are in the lizard area, so we need to recover all the babies. They are just sad and calling for their children, which have disappeared. Okay. There's a little skip you can do there. Hopefully, you can get it. Okay. Now we come across those babies, which are not a species in the game. They're just kind of there, and it's the only time you see them. So I'm gonna use them for like 30 seconds. I have to keep calling for them, so I'm sure they won't get stuck or just wait for nothing. This is a typical example of... Wow, this guy's stuck. It's kind of bad. So this is very simple, but if you stand near the barrier and call for them, they will come as fast as they can. And this basically happens with everything in the game, but it's not as simple as that. And you can go a long way before understanding how to exactly move to control all the animals in this game. Okay, we have one more left. And coming up is a little skip that allows us to cut across the thing instead of going all the way around and having to climb up again. It's quite precise. Hopefully I don't get any frame drops, which happens sometimes. Oh, that was nice. This is part of the RNG of the game. Sometimes this guy won't even be there, and you have to wait for a new one to spawn. There, instead of freeing this flower, I just jump across directly to this tree. Now I will die intentionally because I'm supposed to take all the babies with me and free the flower one by one, but since I skipped all of that, I die, and then when I spawn back up all the babies will be there with me. And I need one for the next area. Whoa. Okay, there is a little skip there that allows you to skip those flowers. It's like a 7-second time save, but I haven't practiced it much yet, and guess what? It's been found yesterday, so... Farewell, my friend. Okay, now I will fly during the cutscene. If you don't touch the ground when the cutscene starts, you can actually keep moving, but since you cannot see anything, you have to remember the inputs. Try to not die into the water. Perfect. And now we have saved all the babies so we can learn the lizard voice. Okay. Now instead of coming all the way back and having to do a bunch of puzzles and enemies, like this used to be by far the worst split because there is a bunch of enemies and stuff you have to deal with on your way to the next area, which is the wolf area. But not long ago, like right after HDQ, someone found a skip that allows you to go above this whole area, so you don't need to fight any enemies. Well, not really fight, but avoid. It saves about 3 minutes. So just go back there. Those are the lizard flowers I can now activate. This is a very good run so far, by the way, so this is the hardest split. I mean the hardest area to go through. If this area goes well, there is a good chance this is the world record. But since it's the hardest one, I cannot guarantee anything. Okay, this skip right there saves 3 minutes. Because now you can just, instead of being down there, you're just above and you can skip all of this. And now we're heading to the wolf area. Yeah, this is not supposed. You're not supposed to be there at this point. So also you have just wolves there that are supposed to be captured by enemies, but they just chill up there. This is a very scary yellowish area because there is kind of a very dense enemies area below, but I'm just above it, so I can skip all of it. Oof, frame drops. Frame drops in this game are quite recurrent, like when area loads. Also, when you start a run, you want to have restarted the game before, because otherwise you get way more frame drops and it's kind of shitty. Okay, we're getting to the ice area, which is also the wolves area. This wall climb and the next cave, which I need to fight a bunch of enemies, is by far the hardest part of this run. So hopefully it goes well. Okay, there is a way to skip that allows to skip the first 2 floors upcoming. It's quite hard to do. Hopefully I get it first try. Okay, nice. If I fall down there, it's a soft talk casually, but I have a way to get back up. Usually you're supposed to free all of those wolves that are corrupted, but I'm just skipping all of that by doing precise jumps. Okay, so this was the first part. Now there is the wolf cave. This is the most unfriendly beginner corners of this game because there is actually a lot of RNG, NPC manipulation and enemies. So hopefully it goes well. Wow, okay, that was insanely good. Might have... maybe I should have gone for the middle one. I'm gonna go for the middle one. I have time anyway since that was so fast. Okay, the second wolf is supposed to spawn and it's gonna come right there. The second wolf has a set position, I can just wait for him. Then the third wolf has also a set position, you can just wait for him. The thing that's very hard about this cave is that the first wolf is totally random, and there are 2 more enemies plus the wolves, so you have to be careful of all of that. Go back there. You have to kind of improvise as it goes on because the patterns are different every time. And the last one should be spawned again, so I'm gonna take him and then I need to be careful because the other wolf has spawned and can kill me if I'm not careful. Those silent ones are just busy capturing the wolves back, so I don't need to be worried about them. Okay. That was extremely good. That was basically the best it can be. If anyone finds a way to skip this barrier, by the way, it saves about 2 minutes, so you're welcome to do and try. Okay, now we free a mother wolf, I guess, and we have to get all the babies back. Beautiful singing, by the way. I'm seeking continuously, so the wolves keep going instead of just being stuck at one place. It also unlocks the flowers for them to jump on. Now I'm just gonna wait for all of them to come. I think we need 1 more. Oh, 2 more actually. Okay, now they're all happy and I will learn their voice. Fun fact, in the any percent run of this game, you don't get any of the voices. Instead, you get a bunch of like secondary abilities and then rush the end game, which makes two totally different runs. Even though this is like the most casual way of playing the game. Okay, now that we have the wolf voice, we're gonna just go back to the center of the game. There, instead of taking all those ice slides, I'm just cutting through all of it. The wolf voice allows two things: communicate with others once again, but also opening those mushroom walls. And into dark caves you can also make light happen, so... The reason why I'm pairing with this guy is because I need him to ride on those ice slides. I cannot get on top of them if I'm not riding him. Okay, we have one more voice to unlock and then we can go and finish the game. So now this is the main part where you meet a bunch of other thieves and you can just go around, play with them, capture them. It's kind of cute and funny. But then they just get captured and it's all sad again. But I won't see any of that happening because I'll go too fast for me to see anything. It's a very good run so far. Not any huge mistake. I didn't go for some small skips, but it's better play safe than to lose like 1 minute. Okay, so now instead of going the normal way, I'm gonna jump on this rock. Get up there. Then go there. Then fly down. I'm supposed to activate the flowers again that I did in the early game, but by doing that I can skip it. Okay, so now I'm supposed to make my friends capture, like let them be captured by the bad guys, but instead what I'm gonna do is bait this guy out and go behind him and climb on those trees. And then I can find a little like dead tree on top, which I can climb on. Which you're not supposed to come this way, and that just keeps having to like let our friends die. Which is a kind of save the animals, I guess. Okay, so there I'm getting killed, but since the cutscene starts right away, I don't get killed. Sometimes, I've heard that sometimes the guy just spawns behind you and get insta-killed after the cutscene, but it's never happened to me, so... Now I need to pair with all the flowers that have been corrupted by the silent ones. Oh, this guy's not supposed to be there. Okay, that was weird. The cycle, usually what happens there is that he goes to the left as I come, but there he went to the right, so I don't know what happened. Maybe I was slow. Where am I spawning there? Okay, go back to your left spot, please. Thank you. That lost about 20 seconds, I think. Oh, I'm gonna wait for him to... Okay. If you go into this tree while he looks up to you, he will just turn around and kill you, so... I just waited to be safe. I'm using the mouse there because it makes those things a little easier, even though I'm getting one arm off the controller. Now I can just wait for the cutscene to finish and learn the last voice of the game, which is the jellyfish voice, I guess. I'm not sure what those creatures are, but we could just call them jellyfish. Okay, now I have all the voices and I can go to the final area of the game. The main reason you need this voice casually because there is a huge ocean between the final part of the game and the main island, so you need to fly in a bunch of jellyfishes to get to the final area. But with dash and stuff, secondary abilities, we can get actually to the final area without using this voice. But since I have it, I'll just use it. Much easier. Now, it's the main story point of the game, but good luck understanding what's going on. Even if you've played through the game and tried to understand the story, it's quite hard. First time I played through the game, I was like, what the heck is happening? And the ending cutscene is even more confusing. Okay, so this is the final area of the game. What we need to do in this area is basically unlock all the flowers, pair with all the flowers, and then at the top there is the final flower that we need to trigger, that will trigger the final cutscene. It takes a while though to do all of that. Okay, we need 4 on the first floor. Okay, and now once we have activated the 4th floor, so the first floor, we can sing next to this silent one, which has a broken armor, and then he's confused and he will follow us and help us to finish the game. In any percent you skip to the first floor totally and you go straight to the 2nd floor, because you have secondary abilities that allow it, and then this guy just goes through the door and follows us anyways. But it's not faster to take the time to get all the crystals needed to get the abilities we need. It's actually faster to just do the first floor. Okay, that's the second floor complete, so now it shakes. And we can open this door. We play very casually through the final part of the game when you have all the songs. Are you guys ready for some epic music once I activate the first floor on the third floor? Spray gas and music. Okay, that's the third floor complete. Now on to the last one. Okay, in the transition between the third floor and the final floor, I need to be quite fast because I can save like I can save 3 seconds if I get to the top before it gets to a specific position. So I'll try to do that because it will activate his movement way faster. $47. Okay. We have like 3 minutes of cutscenes at the end, so. Okay. Please. Oh, we didn't get it. Okay. Not gonna save those 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so now we have like 3 minutes of cutscenes. So what happens there is that Fear will teach the language to the Silent One, and that will allow them to go back home or something. I'm not even sure what's happening. I usually try to sing along, then try to save in 1 second, maybe it's faster, I don't know, but I'm not gonna do it there. So my PB is 50-59. I think we will not beat it, but it's gonna be close. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Close enough though. Okay. Those are the memories, by the way. It's storytelling points, but I've never done anyone besides this one, which is required to finish the game. Time is coming up in like 20 seconds. So right when I lose control of the silent one. And time. So yeah, that fun was pretty good. Too bad I died. Yeah, you get the control right at the end, but you can just trigger the credit whenever. And since the credits are not like, do not have a fine line where it triggers, we just end the run as you lose control. Where's the bird again? I'm not used to play after I finish the game. Okay. Then you climb on this guy, the credits will trigger. Okay, so this was 4 old songs. We have a very small community, like 3 or 4 active runners. It's a very chill game, it's quite easy to speedrun, so if anyone wants to join, they're welcome. There is probably still a lot of fun of stuff to find to do, so yeah. This is all for this game. I'll be back in just a bit for Ori and the Blind Forest, so yeah, don't go anywhere.